to record on my computer. I'll send it to you, Val.
Okay.
And then I'm going to go. Smile, ladies. Amber, before I go on.
Do we turn our volume down on Facebook or on just on our computer? Because when I turned mine down, I couldn't hear you.
On Facebook.
Facebook, okay.
Right, so you're usually on Facebook on another device?
Oh, I was going to do it right on my computer. Okay.
Okay, you good then, girl. Go ahead.
I'm do it on the phone, though. But I'm on Zoom on the phone. So okay, I got you. Would you
Okay.
the Facebook page so we don't have, okay.
Right.
Gotcha.
I know. Every day something new with this, right? All right, I am going to go live on Facebook. Let me walk through the steps.
Are you calling me?
And, all right, now it wants me to do this. Interesting. All right, make sure that you're muted.
Yes.
While I'm
Because I know.
connect.
1 second. I'll be right back.
Okay. Let me on a friend's timeline. And Val, Mandisa Carassi, Stancill. Make sure I got the right one. Okay.
And everybody, don't forget, soon as Jen comes on, turn your videos off. Everyone except Jen.
So we'll have our videos off with everyone.
Yes, and when it's your turn, like Kia, just announce who the next person is. You know, now, and you know, we'll be hearing from whomever. When
Okay,
you
well,
hear
we'll be hearing
her,
from, right, and then it
right,
goes off.
and
the
then
others
you
will go
then click on your video. Turn your video on.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, here we go.
No. Sorry.
Preparing to live stream. All right, getting ready to go live, ladies. Okay, and you want me to put book launch or something on the post?
Yes, that'll be fine.
Okay. Right, and we are going live. All righty. Ready to go, Val.
Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight. We are so excited to have you here tonight. We are excited to tell you about our stories. These are 12 ladies, 12 authors, 12 stories, 12 journeys of our life as caregivers. And I wanted to do this book because I was a caregiver for 14 years and I know how it is to be a caregiver. You're overworked, you're underappreciated, you're tired, you're depressed, all of those things. So I wanted to be able to have not a resource, but a point of reference, I guess, so that other caregivers will be able to look and say, oh, look, you know, somebody else is actually doing or going through what I am going through. And I wanted to do it to give a special shout out to all caregivers, because being a caregiver is hard work. You know, it's a never ending job, especially if you're the primary caregiver, because you do everything. You are the cook, the bottle washer, as they say, all of those things. You take them to the doctors, you take them, you go get their medications, you watch them all day. You get no time to yourself. And then when you do, you have the audacity to feel bad about it. And I want you to know that that's not what caregiving is about. But I know that we all do it because I did it. You know, I even did it after my husband passed. I felt like I shouldn't be where I was, and he wasn't even here anymore. So I just want to give such a special shout out to all the caregivers if you're listening, and just say thank you, thank you, thank you. We appreciate you so much, and we hope that this is an inspiration for you to let you know that we care about you. I would also like to give a shout out to each one of these beautiful ladies for taking the time to contribute to this book and to tell their story of how they gave their life for another person. And I also want to give a special shout out to all the women who are not able to be here. They are Charlene Atkinson, I'm sorry. I'm probably pronouncing her name wrong, but that's how I see it. Tanya Rivers Brown, Donna Healy, April Green, Lorraine Goffney, Terry Robinson, and Marita Lida. So as I said, this book was written to let you experience the life of a caregiver. Hear what we do day by day, how we're overwhelmed. But every day we get up and start again. So it's a 24-hour job, but I just still want to give a shout out to all the caregivers. I appreciate you all so, so much. I want to jump on here right now and tell you about my story. I was a caregiver for 14 years. I remember vividly going to the hospital with my husband for a test the day after Thanksgiving and leaving as his caregiver. My husband was ill for 14 years. He was given 2.5 to 3 years to live, and he lived for 14 years. And in the end was the most traumatic time of our lives, because he started to diminish very quickly, and he was on dialysis along with all the other things that he had. So I did his dialysis at home, I worked, and I had a business, but I still took the time to take care of my husband. I gave my life for the love of my life. So I just want to give a special shout out to my husband, Benjamin Stancill, and just say thank you so much for this 14-year journey. Never, ever, never, ever would I think that I would be doing what I'm doing right now. You know, my what ifs, my whys, my how comes, all brought me to this point right here. I am an international best-selling author. I'm a business owner. I am a health and wellness advocate. I am an empowerment speaker. I am a domestic violence advocate, and so many other things. But when you're going through this journey that you didn't ask to be part of, you can't see the purpose in the pain. You can't see the victory as being a victim. All you can think of is, why am I in this? Why did this happen? How come this happened? But I am here to tell you that I am very, very grateful for that 14-year journey, because it brought me to this point and made me the woman that I am today. And I cannot say the passion, I can't express enough the passion that I have for every caregiver, you know, because I understand what you have gone through, you know, the time that you were a caregiver. So with that being said, I want to start the day with a spoken word from Jennifer Laws. Jennifer Laws is the owner of TLD Modeling Agency. She is also a poet, and now she is a published author. So I want to welcome Jennifer Laws. She's going to give us spoken word, and then she's going to take off that spoken word hat, and she's going to become Jennifer Laws, the author. So Jen.
Jen is having some technical difficulties. She's been in and out.
Okay.
So you just kind of direct us as to where we're going next.
Okay, so with that being said, can everyone turn their videos off? And we're going to start with Nicole. We're going to talk to Nicole first.
Okay, hello.
Well, let me first say I am Kia Bonnie, and I am super excited to be part of this launch today. I am obviously Valerie Stancill's daughter. You can see the beauty. Um, but it was a long journey, and to be on the sidelines and see her take care of my stepfather in the way that she did was amazing. She worked 45 minutes away from her home. Would go to work, so that's 45 minutes, work a full day, drive 45 minutes, do dialysis, which takes about an hour and a half to set up, then do dialysis, and then you have to clean the machine and do it all over again with no real help. We were there with her when we had to do those hospital runs, those late night hospital runs, and it was just amazing to be able to see her strength through the whole thing. And I'm quite sure all of you have had to deal with that, to sometimes put on a smile when you really want to cry. I know I was a short time caregiver for my husband. He had cancer, and taking care of him for that short period of time was in no comparison to, I'm quite sure, any of your stories. But it is a trying time to help take care of somebody and see somebody that you love go through something that they've never been through before. And I also just want to give a special shout out, of course, again, to my mom, because I've seen her go through all of this to put the book together, um, and to deal with different people and different personalities, scheduling and things of that nature, and then still have to deal with taking care of herself, and unselfishly doing so and going through what she's going through, and with a smile on her face. So I'm just really honored to be here with you ladies tonight. And since Jen is back on, we're going to do the spoken word.
Yes.
Okay, great.
So welcome Jen with her spoken word, and she is a new author. So we're so excited. Go ahead, Jen, take it away.
Unmute yourself, Jen.
Oh, you're on mute.
You're on mute.
It might take a minute to come through.
Okay,
There you go.
there
All
we
right.
go.
I think I'm good now. Okay, let me start over again. My name is Jen Laws, and thank you, Kia, for the great introduction. And also thank you to Ms. Bao and all of the co-authors. Without you, this book would not be possible. It has definitely been a thing of mine to get done, and I'm glad that it's done. I unfortunately don't have my poem committed to memory, and I seem to be having some technical difficulties right now. So I'm going to do one that I do have committed to memory. If my stuff comes back up, I'll be glad to do another one. This poem today is dedicated to survivors of domestic abuse. And I've had some friends who have been in that situation and have lost their lives. So I hope that this touches you all and gives you some peace and comfort. If you are in a domestic situation, definitely seek help to get out. This poem is called Damn. I remember when the first began, and you said, he only pushes you around on arguments. I tried to convince you to leave then, but you didn't. You said, but he respects me in the streets, and he lets everybody know that I'm his queen. And he only acts like that when I make him upset. And a real man is supposed to keep his woman in check. I asked you then, what kind of twisted thinking was that? And what happened to your own self-respect? Then you thought it was cute when he checked your cell phone. Simply told him, stop acting jealous when he told you what time to be home. I told you that you should have let him know that you were grown. But it's not your fault that you can't see what a real man is supposed to be, because in every relationship, you're still searching for your daddy, taking him along for a free ride just to get by. And even though I saw you less and less, my friend, I could still feel your overbearing stress. not coming around for weeks at a time. I tried to turn a blind eye to your black eye, but I couldn't. And I begged you over and over to just leave. Sometimes you would never stay. You always went back within a few days, and every time you went back, my friend, the harder I prayed. You said it was because he loved you and needed you in a way that nobody did. Had the nerve to say if you didn't come back, then he can't live. I told you right then, you should have just let him die, because it was like you was in a trance and you believed all his lies, forgetting that I was your friend from way back when. We laughed together, we cried together, we almost died together. I had your back, we covered each other's tracks. It was my baby's daddy. And now, I can't believe that I'm just sitting here by your bedside, trying to figure out how and why I have to say goodbye to my good friend, gone way before her time. Damn. Thank you. Thank you.
That was really awesome. That was really good, Jen. Thank you.
Thank you.
Are we? So, how does it feel to be an author?
That it feels so great, you know, with everything that has happened in 2020. And, you know, it was plenty of times I felt like I just wanted to lay down, like I'm done with everything. You know, the ability to still push through and still continue on with this project is kind of bittersweet, but it's sweeter than bitter.
Right, right. I understand. So the first question was, or is, excuse me, what inspires you to start writing?
What inspired me to write was I started with poetry, and it was really a form of release for just myself, because there was a lot of things that were going on with me, and I really didn't have a lot of people to talk to. I started to write it, to get those feelings out and express them. And when I started to perform, people responded and they reacted to it. And so the more I performed, the more people responded. And I was like, hey, I'm going to go on with this writing thing.
Right. Okay. So is this your first book? Well, I know it is. So if so, will you continue writing?
I am continue writing. This is my first book. I've had publications and stuff. I've been.
Did we lose her?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, when she comes back on, we'll finish asking her questions because she had a couple more questions to answer. So once she comes back on, we'll revisit that. So right now, we're going to get ready. Did she come
Wait a
back?
minute, she come back on?
Yes.
She's having an issue with her audio.
Her audio.
I'll let you know.
Okay.
Okay, so I know
Hello?
that we are. Hello?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
It's a little choppy, but so will you continue writing was the last part of that question.
Yes, I definitely will. So it was dedicated to my dad, and I am going to write my mom's journey now, because unfortunately she did pass away this year.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that.
Thank
you. Writing can be an emotionally draining and stressful pursuit. Any tips for aspiring writers?
And patient, and make sure that you get with someone who's very knowledgeable. It'll be ups and downs, but definitely the ending is definitely worth it.
Okay. So how can those watching get your book?
You can contact me directly on my social media on Facebook or Instagram, and that is Jennifer and Laws on Facebook and Jen Laws Model on Instagram. If you would like to purchase, you can send me payment directly through Cash App, which is Jen Laws TLD.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much, Jen. So I know now we are going to get into our first game. So I'm excited. Valerie, take it away.
Hey, hey, hey. I'm excited too. So the first question is, name the 3 types of caregivers I talked about on my page, and I've talked about on Facebook Live. So I need all 3 of the types of caregivers that I gave. So we'll wait a few minutes and see if anyone comes on and says that that one of their people gave an answer. I need all 3. I talked about 3 different types of caregivers.
I feel bad. I don't know one. I don't know the titles. I don't know anything. So I can't help you. I don't know.
Nobody has one of their people watching that knows the answer to that. If
We're looking for some hints.
I gave the hints. I gave hints all week on my author Valerie Stancill page.
Can they Google it?
Because there's all types. I want the 3 types that I talked about.
Oh, okay.
Because then I'll know that you were watching the live.
Oh, you're doing some hard ones, huh?
But they're easy. And if you thought about it, you could go on my page right now. That's the hint, okay? That's the hint that I will give. That is the hint. All right, nobody knows.
And so what do they win, Valerie?
Well, what they will win is they will win these beautiful queen earrings.
Ooh.
This is the prize that you will win if you guess the 3 types of caregivers. So I'm not going to keep everyone on hold while we wait for someone to tell us if they have someone on their page that gave the right answer. So what we want to do now is we want to
go into our next guest.
Go into the next guest.
Why, thank you, Valerie.
Thank you.
So we would love to welcome Nicole Maruka. I am so excited to hear from you. You're one of the first people that were on early.
Yes, thank you.
So congratulations. So everybody's going to have the same question, and I'm quite sure everybody's going to deal with it differently. But the first question is, what inspired you to start writing?
I've been journaling and writing poems and songs for many years. One day I had a dream that I had 3 best-selling books and a publisher. So when this opportunity was presented to me, I gladly accepted it. And I'm excited about it. I'm excited about the other projects that I have coming up as well.
Awesome. So this is your first book?
This is my first book, yes.
And obviously you will continue writing. So writing can be very emotional and draining and stressful. Do you have any tips for any writers?
If you have a book idea, I would suggest researching the topic of interest, maybe journaling your thoughts and ideas. They make really great stories. Also, then decide what type of book you would like to write, whether it's a cookbook, a mystery novel, poetry, history, a memoir, a self-help book, something like that, and create an outline for what you want to do. But journaling has inspired me to write mostly, so that always helps. Yeah.
Okay. So, how can we get your book? How can we get the book so that we can read your chapter?
Yes, yes, please do. You can inbox me on Facebook and let me know that you would like a book, like my autographed copy, like an autographed copy that is, or you can email me at nicolesway@hotmail.com. So that's Nicole, NICOLESWAY @hotmail.com.
Awesome.
And
Again, congratulations.
Thank
I
you.
want to jump on here real quick and ask Nicole another question. Nicole, I want you to tell a little bit of your story, because Nicole's story to me is very unique. So without giving them too much, because you want them to get that book,
Right.
tell them a little bit about your story.
Well, I was a caregiver for my mother-in-law for 3 years, and she had dementia. So it was a journey and a half. um, I um, I did accept um, the job to take care of her because I wanted to honor her as my mother, and God really showed up for me. He really helped me um, honor her and do that. So if I had to do it all over again, I would. So please buy the books. You can read about the
Right,
story.
so we can get a little bit more info,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So, Mom, is there, or Valerie, is there any other questions? I know, because I'm like, I feel bad. Look, Valerie, is there any more questions?
No, but Nicole, I wanted you to tell them the story of, a little bit about. I'm trying to,
She's
because
already laughing because she knows.
I don't want her to give it away, but it's important, because I think that is something that people should know, because like the title of the book, we give our life for someone else. And
Yes.
she gave her life for someone. You tell them.
Um, just a little background. My mother-in-law and I didn't get along very well, to say the least. She did not like me, and I was divorced at the time that I took this job.
Oh, God
So
bless you.
yes, and I have to admit it was mutually beneficial for both of us because of the situation that I was in at the time. However, it was more difficult than I thought it would be.
Hmm.
And the chapter that I wrote explains, my process and that journey. So,
And I'm sure that was very trying because I know
very.
I had my aunt, my great aunt, for one night. We had her for one night. And because I didn't want her to hurt herself, this is a new environment.
Yeah.
I was up and I'm like, I didn't sleep at all.
At all.
And her son brought her and brought her medication and everything. And I'm like, do I have to? He was like, no, she should be okay. And at night might be a little rough. She might get out of hand. So I'm like, okay.
Hmm.
And he was like, don't worry about her going to the bath. She will go to the bathroom. She's
Yeah.
fine with that. So I'm like, okay. So every time she had to go to the bathroom, I'm walking her because I didn't want her to fall. I didn't, I'm just like, I want to make sure you're okay.
Hmm.
And I gotta tell you, I think it was like 5 in the morning because she kept getting up.
Hmm.
And she got up and she was like, Kia, I just don't want you to worry, I don't want you to be involved in this. And I'm like, don't worry about it. It's okay. Just go to sleep. And then she's like, is my cousin coming to, she said, my cousin, she said, is she coming to get me tomorrow? I said, yes, she's coming to get you tomorrow. Everything will be fine. And we went back to sleep and she said, you know what, Kia? I said, what? What? But what is it? What is it? Because it's 5 in the morning.
Yes.
And I've gotten up with you about 10 times.
Yes.
And I'm really, really trying my best not to snap.
Yes.
What's wrong?
That was just one day. That was just one night.
One day. And it was because it was so trying, because at one point she got a little I guess restless and nervous when her son came, because she was fine and I didn't know what was the problem. And she got her bag. She was sitting on the sofa. She got her bag and she got up, and I looked, and when she saw me, she said, "You're not Kia." And I said, "Yes, I am." I said, "It's me, Philly." And she said, "I've known Kia since the day she was born. You ain't Kia."
Yeah.
And I was shook because I was like, "Oh snap." And I just put my head down, and she kept saying, "And you can't tell me." And I was like, "I'm not gonna say nothing because I can't tell."
That would have been an
got her
argument.
bag. Right. And she got her bag, and I said, "She's getting ready to try and walk out of here." But she was walking the wrong way, and I went to grab her, and I said, "Philly, where? I would appreciate you take your hands off of me."
Yes.
I said, "No problem." I said, You okay?" And then she realized, she's like, "I just want to know what's going on." So I understand it a little bit. And that was just one night.
One night.
That was
And
one night.
yes, one night.
So
And we had many nights like that, many days like that, with the memory, long-term and short-term memory coming back. It was very, very challenging. And to keep her entertained too, and
Right.
yes,
So
distracted from leaving the house and things like that.
Yeah. So I understand a little bit. Not even look. I know that doesn't even touch the cusp of what you've done, but I understand a little bit. So
But to God be
kudos. Yes. So kudos to you guys for that.
Thank you.
So I know that we have Vivian coming up next. Vivian Smallwood. Is Vivian ready?
Yes, I am.
Hello, and congratulations.
Well, thank you.
No problem. Are you excited?
Yes, I am very excited.
Good. So I know that you most likely have heard the questions, and I'm trying to stick to the script, even though Valerie may come in, and that's fine. That's fine. I just trying to stick with the script. But of course, what I've asked everyone else, what has inspired you to start writing?
Well, really, it was the Holy Spirit, and it was in collaboration when I went on Facebook and saw Valerie posting for an anthology that she was doing regarding caregiving. I mean, it was a few years after my husband passed, but I said, "Okay, Lord, I'm going to be obedient." So I just contacted Valerie and just went from there. So, and it's also with journaling. If you journal, that's something that you can show later in life. And I'm going to beat you to this. It's going to go to the next question. Will I continue writing? Probably so, because journaling is forever and you should do it. And then just going forth, God has says in Jeremiah 32, "Thus says the Lord, the God of Israel, what are the words which I have spoken to you?" or write the words that I have spoken to you in a book. So that revelation is just very empowering, just like the Bible. If we're living the life of Christ, and we have a story to tell based on our experience in his word, we can reach so many people. And right now, caregiving is just going to be totally something that somebody's going to experience one day in their life. It's just inevitable. It's going to happen.
So being that you're sharing your faith, would you say that your faith was a big big help to you in caring for your husband?
Yes, it was. It was, as a wife,
Mm-hmm.
first and foremost, to be able to be his helpmate, to be his caregiver, and just, God said, until death do us part. So
Amen.
knowing that, and knowing that the covenant of God was priority in the life that I was living, with him as my husband, my life or yours. It's my life. It's very, 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 it's real. It came to life.
Right. And I think a lot of people don't understand that the death to us part and sickness and in health. I think they take that very lightly. And I know I saw that with my mom. A lot of people would ask, like, one time someone asked her, how was it being loyal to your husband during this time?
Mhm.
And my mom was like, what do you mean? And it's just crazy to think, you wouldn't think that that would be a question. But I guess some people didn't take those vows as serious. And I find that when I was taking care of my husband and in those few months and sharing with people, like when people say these are relationship goals, and I'm like, that's not even, just the things that you see on the internet are not relationship goals. Real relationship goals are when you have to carry them up the steps, when you have to bathe them, and take care of them, deal with their attitudes when they're upset, and keep a smile on your face.
Mhm.
In my case, my husband's foot was partially amputated.
Mhm.
And they were saying, oh, would it be, I asked what the recovery time was. And they were like, oh, 2 weeks. And I'm like, okay. So, of course, when I'm looking at his foot and dressing his foot and I don't see any progress in 2 weeks, I'm like, I still had to put a mask on so that he didn't see how upset I was. And I'm sure many of you can understand that on here as well. To see his foot for the first time was, I can't even describe it, but and I couldn't let him see that.
Right.
I didn't want him to be like, what, oh my God. So, and I know that my faith definitely got me through that. And that's why I was asking you that, because you spoke about that. So, I know you saw the question. So because you know that it's emotional and draining and stressful, what would you tell other aspiring writers?
To not give up, just to continue the process. I was watching a Facebook episode or event today from Precious Brown, giving her a shout out. And she said to not look at it as being perfection all the time. Look at the progress that you're making in life. And so to aspire a writer, you just got to keep on keeping on. Allow the Holy Spirit to move you. Allow, like I said, your experience along with God's word and where you've been through. Because if you look back over your life, you'll say, wow, my husband wasn't only the first act of caregiving. You're a caregiver for your children. You're
Absolutely.
a caregiver for other family members, for
Mhm.
friends. It becomes like a ministry of presence. So just continue to be inspired by knowing that Jesus, what he did for us and how he cared for us by going to the cross. Who are to say we are to do anything less than? So we just move not in our own power, but by his spirit, and just stay focused. Stay focused about
Absolutely.
all things.
Absolutely. And Ava DuVernay said that. Someone asked her, how do I get into writing? How do I be? She said, just write. Just write. So how can we get the book from you?
You can reach me at Vivian Smallwood, VivianSmallwood @AOL.com. You can also reach me on Facebook, Vivian Smallwood, inbox me or messenger me, or you can go $ Vivian Smallwood Cash App. It's $20 per book. I don't know if you guys knew that, but I'm putting it out there now.
Yeah.
And just call me 609-203-8218, and I will put all this information on my Facebook page, so you'll be able to contact me that way as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Vivian. It was awesome talking with you. All right, now we have our next game, Valerie. We have a giveaway.
Right. Yes. So we are going
Are
to
you
give
ready
away.
for the giveaway?
Yes, I am. I think if I turn my thing off, you can hear me.
I can hear you.
Oh, you can hear me? Oh, I thought I was still on
Yeah.
mute. Yes, I am ready for the game. But I just want to, I'm always interjecting because that's just what I do. I don't think Nicole said how you can reach her to get her book. Did Nicole, did you say how you could get your book?
I was talking too much. That was my problem.
That's all right. I believe I did, but I'll say it again. They can email me at Nicole's Way at
Yes, you did.
hotmail.com. Nicole, S as in Sam, WAY at hotmail.com. Or you can inbox me on Facebook, Nicole Maroka. That's the last name spelling is M as in Mary, Uraoka.
All right. Thank you,
Thank
Nicole.
you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Because I want to make sure that if whoever is watching and supporting their particular author, please support them by purchasing their book. They will send you an autographed copy of their book. You can reach out to them, you know, by the means that they have told you. You can also go on their Facebook page. The information will be posted, how you can contact them. But how do you like these stories? Aren't these are
These
amazing
are amazing.
stories. These are amazing stories. And, you know, it makes me, you know, I just want to say this. I remember when my husband was alive and people, you would watch people talk about a loved one or an issue that happened, you know, some time ago. And me and my rude self, excuse me, would say, why is she crying? You know, that was 5 years ago. That was 6 years ago. You should be fine by now. Okay, did you see me just like get emotional to talk about my husband? And it's been 6 years. And when you start to talk about it, you almost relive it a little bit and it becomes fresh again in your mind. So when you are a caregiver or any type, I guess, of emotional attachment to someone, when you talk about them, if it was a traumatic experience, you will go there, you know, and you think that you won't. And I was trying everything I could to not go there. But when you start talking about some things that trigger you to remember that certain situation and how emotional it was at that time, you instantly relive that. So
And especially people need to take, I mean, and I for one was one of those people. You got to take into account you've been with whoever that you were taking care of for that certain period of time, and it became a routine. And I had shared, I don't know who, I don't know, it wasn't, I shared it with my mom or with Valerie at one time, but I was sharing it with someone else, and I was saying that I had to call and apologize to my mom. It's not that I ever discredited whatever she said, but as someone who is maybe the cheerleader for the caregiver, it can be stressful as well because you're seeing someone you love go through something to take care of someone else. So I remember the day, and my husband, when he heard me, he was like, "Babe, I never knew that." But the day, and my mom will tell you, the day that he went back to work, I was in the bathroom, and you can see our bed from the bathroom. And I had gotten a routine of getting up, washing him, making him food, making sure he was entertained. If he needed to come downstairs, help him come downstairs. So you get used to that routine. And then he wasn't there and he went to work. And I looked at the bed and I just started crying. And I said, because Benny's not coming home. Mike is coming home. But it just hit me like that impact of not seeing him in that bed. It just hit me. And I was like, wow. And I'm like, that was just like, that was an eye opener for me as far as for, you know, seeing how she kind of felt. Because, you know, again, Michael be coming home, then he wasn't. So to, you know, be in that routine and be with someone for that long period of time and then something change, that's it's life changing. It's life changing.
It definitely is. And it's something that you'll remember, you know, forever. And it's something that you have to carry with you forever. But, you know, because of that pain, I turned my pain into purpose. So my give back to what God gave to me and how he kept me, how he allowed my husband to live for 14 years when he was only supposed to live up to 3. I have to give back. I have to be able to help another woman, you know, walk this journey, you know, because if it wasn't for Kia and her husband, who I call my son. So when I say my kids or my son, it's my daughter and her husband, because I love him like he's my son. You know, if it wasn't for them, I had no help, you know, and like she said, I went to work, and I went to work an hour away.
Oh, okay.
It was an hour away, and then an hour back. Then I would go to my business and come home and do dialysis for 4 hours. And I had to access his artery and his vein. He didn't do, you know, like some people are familiar with the PD dialysis, where you, it's like you do it through your abdomen. And, you know, you just, I don't know how they do it because we didn't do it. I know that it's something inserted into your abdomen, the fluid goes in, and then it comes, you know, it washes everything and flushes back out. But I was actually accessing his artery and his vein every other day. So we did that 3 times a week for 4 hours a day. And like she said, after that was done, I had to get him downstairs to feed him and run upstairs and start cleaning the machine, which would take almost 2 hours, you know, altogether, and listen to make sure he didn't pass out, because I could hear him if he would fall. So, you know, being a caregiver is not easy. And like, you know, Kia said, it's the unappreciation that sometimes you receive from them because of their anger, you know, with the whole
Right.
situation.
Right.
So they take it out on you because you're right there. And,
Right.
you know, and sometimes, you know, I was like, look, I'm sorry this happened to you. I didn't do it. I'm here to try to help you. You know, and it took a long time for him to come to the realization of his situation. And, you know, we just have to keep moving forward. So again, and I will probably say this like 15 more times, shout out to the caregivers. Shout out for everything that you do. And if no one tells you that they appreciate you, Valerie Stancill appreciates you. I tip my hat to you. I am here for you, to support you, to walk through any journey that you may have. I walked through the journey for 14 years. So I am here to support you. So with that being said, now we are going to go to the giveaway. So this is my little Christmas basket, my Christmas bag. And I'm going to pull the names out. So everyone that registered, that's why I wanted you to register, so you would be eligible to win a prize. So let's see who won the first prize.
Let's see.
Drum roll. Lillian Ranson Wright, you won
Congratulations.
T-shirt for the book. Excuse me, did you order these shoes? So Lillian, this will be coming out to you. I will be sending that to you when I send your book to you. So congratulations, Lillian.
Nice.
So we will hear from Tanya.
Yes, let's speak with Tanya Holly. Good evening, Miss Tanya, and congratulations.
Oh, thank you, Miss Kia.
You are welcome. So I know since you are the last one that we are talking to, you have heard this question, what, like 3 or 4 times, but everybody has something different, has a little bit more to add to it. I do see a lot of people talking about journaling, which is really an amazing thing to do. So what inspired you to start writing?
I would probably say my love for writing started actually with the love of reading. And I don't know if that's true for any of the other authors, but I was one of those little girls that would be held up in the library reading her little Judy Blume books and V.C. Andrews. And I was always amazed at how somebody could craft the words in a story to elicit the different feelings. Like, you know, when you would read a book and you would be in love, or you would get angry, or you would feel lonely, or I just love the expression that these authors could craft. And I always dreamt that, you know, one day I'm going to write a book. I can't wait to write a book. And I think that I can remember when I was in like elementary school, and you would get these little simple writing assignments, and my teachers would always give me my paper back and be like, just answer the question. Like, you went off into this creative tale, you know, and I would be overly excited, and I would have way more than what they asked for. And I was told that I had a vivid imagination and that I was probably going to write. So that's probably about how my love started. But I think also, and I have a lot of friends that this is how they started writing. You know, as a little girl, you start writing in these diaries, right? And usually they would be these little mini kind of books. And for me, it felt like you were writing a book. And what should last, you know, a diary could last you all year. That thing wouldn't last me but a couple of weeks. So I ended up, like everyone else, having journals, and just started writing from there, and collecting short stories. I would write and just make my own little short stories and have little reading times with my little friends. So that's really how I started writing.
Okay. So is this your first book? And if so, will you continue writing?
So this one is, well, yes and no. So no, in a sense that I actually have a series of digital ebooks for children that are flashcard based. And so now that you're homeschooling these kids, it's probably a good tool for you to have. And those can be found on smashwords.com. Just what it says, smash, S-M-A-S-H, words.com. But this is my first published book. It definitely won't be my last. Prior to meeting your mom, I was in the process of finishing a book, which now just has to be edited. And it was titled, or is titled, Jesus Be a Fence. And it is my personal prayer based off of Psalms 91. So that will be my next writing project, as well as some other books that I have in the work. I also do some freelance writing for Road to College, which talks about how to pay for college, how to save money, all of the college planning things. So I write for them as well.
All right. So what would be your, I'm sorry. So a text came up and just totally distracted me. Okay, sorry. So we know that writing, from talking to everybody, and I've known from you know, seeing my mom do the things behind the scenes, that it can get emotional and everything. But what would be your advice to an aspiring writer?
So I think, common to what, you know, most of the other women have said, for me, writing is very therapeutic, and I think it's a way for you to express yourself. And so what I would say to aspiring writers is that really just put the pen to paper, or, you know, if you're on a keyboard, you know, some people, you know, I like the old fashioned, I gotta write stuff down, right? Keyboard is fine. But I think no two writers write alike. And so having some good habits that help you write the way you want to write, to develop your style and technique. And so my tip would be write something every day. And so whether you're writing for your book, or you're writing a long email, or you're writing a love letter, just write. And so one of the tips that I use is, no one just sits down and says, I want to write a book, and then you write that book straight through. It's a process. So by writing a little bit every day, I have writing folders. And so as I come across thoughts, today I might be writing about, you know, say the Proverbs 31 woman, but tomorrow I could have you know, the Lord dropped something in my spirit for a children's book, and then I'll just write and journal that. And so I file these things appropriately in a topical folder. And then when that folder gets thick enough, I go, ooh, what am I going to do with this? And so that might be a book. That folder might turn into a blog, or it could be an article. It could be just advice that I share with somebody on a personal level. So I say just write, keep it organized, put it in a folder. And so that way, when you get it all together, you can come back to it, and then you have enough for whatever the project is that you're gonna be working on. So that would be my tip.
Awesome. All right. So, you know, you got to give the info, how we can get the book through you. Give your information.
So, okay. So you can find information about purchasing my book either on the Tanya Holly author Facebook page. I also have a website, which is TONYAHOLLY WIXSITE.com, Tanya Holly at Wixsite.com. And then I actually listed my books on eBay as well. So there is an item number, which is 1243-1006-7737. So those are all ways you can find it. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys. Congratulations all again. Mom, I keep saying, okay, Mom, because they know you're my mama. Mom, let's get to this next game.
Yes, but first, I want to say something to Tanya and to the people watching. Tanya is blessed enough to have her person that she is caregiving still with her. All the other people in the book are people that we cared for are no longer with us. So Tanya, you want to talk a little bit about, like, for the next maybe minute or two, how it is that you juggle what you do as you still take care of your husband and your children and you work, you know, like what I did.
Let me unmute. Okay. So my loved one is my husband that I am caring for. I've been married about 31 years, and probably 2 years into my marriage, my husband literally got up one day, or actually fell. And you know that commercial that says, "Oh, help, I've fallen, I can't get up"? That's literally what happened to him. His legs went out, and he got rushed to his first spinal surgery. And so from there on, every couple of years, he was having a different surgery. And this third surgery left him a paraplegic about 8 years ago. So my process is similar to everyone else's. You know, it's a 24/7 job. There's seasons, obviously. There's things that he can do. You know, he's not in the same place he was 8 years ago. Thank you, praise God for that. But it's one of those things that is all consuming. And for people who are parents, you can understand that you're caring for somebody around the clock that cannot do for themselves. And so, you know, it can be exhausting, it can be tiring, it can be lonely. And then sometimes you just feel like there's just not enough hours in a day to breathe or take a shower or do anything that you want to do. But, you know, as the other lady shared, you know, I said a vow, you know, it was for in sickness and in health, for better or for worse. And a lot of times people they want the better. They don't want to stick around for the worse. And, you know, I think the best gift you can give somebody is this unconditional love that no matter what, good times and bad, you know, yes, I would love good times, and we've had them 31 years. You can trust me. We've been through it all, right? But we're still pressing forward, and just grateful and thankful every day that he's here. And so, you know, I serve in my church, but my family is my first ministry. And so I have no problem serving and submitting to my husband and being the woman of God that, you know, he's called me to be. And so, you know, I just try to find the joy in those things. And yeah, I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy, right? But I do it lovingly because, you know, I love him. I love him. So it's worth it. It's absolutely worth it. I would do it in a heartbeat again if I had to.
Yes.
Thank you.
I feel that same way as well. You know, I wish that you know, I could come home to my husband as well.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, unfortunately, some of us can't. You know,
Right.
We can't come home to our loved ones, but we gave our life for theirs. You know, I can remember at some point in my journey of taking care of my husband, I asked God to give him any healing that you had for me, to give it to him.
To give it to him.
You know, I wanted him to experience a day or a week of not feeling sick. And, you know, people say, you know, health is wealth. They think that's a cliche, as well as I thought it was a cliche. But when my husband would say, if I could have anything, I just want my health back. I want my life back. That's something that when you have a terminal disease, or even if it's an issue where it's a long-term illness or just illness, period, you know,
Right.
You want your health back. You want to be healthy again, you know, and to be able to do the things that you used to do before. And, you know, as much as they try to live a somewhat normal life, it's very, very hard to do when you're not feeling well. And you have to deal with so many other things. You know, for my husband, it was very hard for him to breathe. So, you know, he had oxygen on 24/7. So, you know, I mean, each person's journey is different, but each
Different. Yeah.
person's journey is a journey of being a caregiver, giving their life for someone else. And like I
And
said,
people will,
go
I'm
ahead,
sorry.
go ahead.
People will be able to take away from this book just what you're saying. So everybody has a different story, which
Mm-hmm.
you share with Tanya. Tanya is still going through her story.
Sure.
And then you have, you know, Nicole, where she was saying her in-law. And I was like, wow, God bless you, because I don't know if I could do that. You know, like, so those are, you know,
Right, right.
there's so many different facets, so many different people coming together,
Right.
you know, and hearing everybody talk about how they got through it, how they're still getting through it. And I think that this will definitely be very inspirational. You know, one of my best friends is a caregiver of her mother. And to hear the things that she has to go through every day, working a job, picking her mom up, taking her to the bathroom, putting her, you know, back in the bed, washing her, changing. So all of those things, you know, some people don't understand and they go unappreciated, whether it's by the person you're doing it for or people who are around you. Like I said, I saw when my mom did, I did appreciate it, but sometimes you don't appreciate it to the fullest until you have just a little smidgen of what they went through. So it's really, I think this will be very, very inspiring for a lot of people. And I'm just excited for all of you. I'm excited for everyone in this book. You know, I
Can I
didn't
just
know.
add one thing?
Mm-hmm.
So one of the other things that I found now that I'm a couple of years in, you know, 20 something years in, is that caregiving, even though you're caring for another person, it's also self-caregiving as well. I've learned more about myself in caring for him that I probably could not have learned otherwise. And I think a lot of times we sell ourselves short and we don't know what we have in us, right? And so the self-discovery of, I didn't think I could do that. I didn't think I could give you shots. I didn't think I could learn some of these nursing techniques. Like, and then you go, I have it in me, right? Right. And so to not be so fearful in that I am equipped. God has equipped me to do
Yes.
these things, right? And so I'm learning so much more about myself that I didn't think I could because this challenge is before me. And then you're able to care for somebody like you just didn't think you could love like that hard, that deep, that you would go there and go, I never thought I would be able to do that. And so that's been another part of the journey, of the self journey, and caring for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that, you know, with this new normal that we are all experiencing with COVID, you know, caregiving is on the rise, you know, because people are getting sick from COVID, so they need someone to take care of them, because it seems like now COVID isn't as nasty as it was, you know, where a lot of people are going in for one day and then coming home and then they have to be cared for at home.
Right.
So, you know, more people are learning what it is to be a caregiver and the everyday task of being a caregiver. So I want to hold the book up. This is the book, My Life for
Upside down, Mom.
Yours.
Yay!
Upside down.
Yay!
So,
Yay!
huh?
Oh, I thought it was upside down. Was it upside down or am I?
No.
Oh, okay, my fault.
But
I'm
so
excited.
since we have some time, I wanted to just say a couple of things from the book. My dedication and the reason for doing this book is my dedication is to my late husband, Benjamin Stancill, and all the caregivers who are overlooked as they give their lives for others. And my acknowledgements, first and foremost, I want to thank God for showing me that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I realized I was called for such a time as this, and it was all for purpose. I want to thank my late husband, Benjamin Stancill, for showing me that pit bull tenacity is real. God's word is true, and it's always for his purpose and glory. And I want to thank my wonderful daughter and son for being my biggest cheerleaders. I don't know what I would have done without them because I had no one but them. And I want to share this prayer. This is in the book, but I want to say this prayer because I want to say this prayer to all the caregivers that are listening or might watch this on a replay. I just wanted to start the book out with this prayer to let them know that God has you no matter what, and you have to be able to understand that God has a purpose for everything, and God has a plan for everything. And sometimes we have to go through these journeys because it's a lesson. It's a way that we are able to give back to God's people so that we can help them. I remember, I think it was Mike Murdoch. He was saying about why go through this when you can read the book? So why go through this when you can talk to one of us that is able to help you go through this journey? So I want to read the caregiver's prayer. It says, Father, in the name of Jesus, I ask you to bless each caregiver as they give their life for another. I pray they will be encouraged each day and find the strength to continue to give of themselves with no regret or remorse. Lord, in those moments of depression, anger, becoming overwhelmed, that you will allow them to experience the peace of God that passes all understanding, and may their hearts be filled with the love of Christ. I pray that they lean not to their own understanding, but allow you to direct their paths. We know our paths are for purpose. So help us to embrace all that you are doing in us for such a time as this. I ask you, Lord Jesus, to allow them to find their purpose and their why, and know that it is all for your glory. Lord, I ask that you guide them on their journeys. Hold them close to you. Strengthen them when they feel they can no longer hold on. Help them realize you are their refuge and their fortress, and they safely trust in you always. I pray that they know you have a plan to prosper and not harm them, but to provide hope and an expected end. Father, I thank and praise you for all caregivers and their loved ones. In Jesus' name, amen. So I just wanted to say that, and just to give another shout out to the authors, the co-authors of this book. And I can't not give this woman a shout out. I don't know if she's watching, but I don't really care. Precious S. Brown. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Queen. We could not have done this without you.
Yes.
If I can say anything, when you publish a book, when you write a book, make sure you check the person out. Make sure you check that publisher out. Precious came to my rescue when I was down and out with this book. I had some issues with the first publisher. And it was just a really bad experience. But I am so grateful to be able to hold this project book in my hand and say thank you, Precious S. Brown, for stepping up.
Don't forget the S.
Yes, don't forget the S, and paying it forward to help me and to help all these other authors get this project out. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. It could not have been done without you. And thank you for...
Precious, I want to say thank you too, Precious.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you.
Because you really did come to the rescue.
Yes, because I was losing my mind. My poor daughter, I love her so much. And my daughter, I just, I feel so bad. I announced everybody, but I just want to give a shout out to my daughter. My daughter is Kia Abanyi. She is from K. Nicole Collections. She is a fabulous designer, not because I'm her mother, but because she is fabulous. She is thebomb.com. My son from Abanyi Films, he's thebomb.com.
Working right now.
Yes, he is. And I don't know what I would do without them. She is the mother now. I am the daughter.
I don't want to be the mom.
She keeps me in check. She keeps me looking sharp. And Kia, I love you and thank you so much.
You know I love you too, Mom. You are more than welcome.
Thank you. So I have another giveaway. And of course, this giveaway is from my famous daughter, the designer, K. Nicole
I
Collection.
got it right here.
Yes.
You want me to tell you to turn the light on?
Yeah.
Eden. Or who's in the kitchen, please? Okay, we're going to act like, all right, no problem. Maybe look, you guys see me trying to fix my line here. There we go. Won't he do it? All right. So
All
we
right.
have,
Oh, wow.
now this is a Fendi mask. This is a licensed, this is Fendi licensed fabric. So I made this mask. So I want you guys to know it is a standard size mask. It may be because everybody has a different size face. You may need to get what they have, the adjuster. So it may be too big, it may be too small, but you can get an adjuster. I think they have them on Amazon for like $5. But this is a genuine Fendi mask that I made, and it's brown on the inside, and it will be sterilized before it is given away. But I wanted to gift this to someone, so there we go.
All right. Let's see who gets that designer mask. Let me see.
We're gonna do it again. The drum.
Ophelia Hazelton.
Woo! Ophelia.
Congratulations.
Is that your friend? Is that your friend, Nicole?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
good. Ophelia, I have your email information. I will be reaching out to you probably by tomorrow because
Okay, why am I loving? Oh, go ahead.
because when I
No,
end
when
this,
I heard Ophelia, I thought she said Ophelia.
Ophelia, I know, because when I
I
seen it, I
wonder if
thought the
somebody
same
named that
thing.
banana.
I thought the
Somebody
same
with the same
thing.
name as banana.
So I will send that out to you as well. And I just want to, like we ended early because all the people didn't come on today. Unfortunately, people had issues. Things
And that's
happen.
life happens,
Goes
right?
on. Life happens. Life is rude and disrespectful.
Disrespectful.
And Valerie, I heard a friend of mine who registered to attend the live event. She said that she's not able to see the live event on your page or mine. She said that it's coming up unavailable.
Oh wow, because I'm looking at it right now on my page.
That's what my
That
granddaughter said.
People are saying it says no content.
Okay.
No content
Oh,
available. So I
wow.
don't know if it's a public page, if it's
right.
no.
It may be
I've had a
shared.
dozen
My
people.
page is a public page.
Right.
See if they can go on Tanya Nakira Bain. Tanya Nyrka.
Well, it's since it's being recorded, will it be able to be sent to them or no? And then they
Yeah,
can
I can
share
do
it
that.
later.
Yeah, I can do that. Once I get the recording. Tanya, do you know why it's not showing up? Tanya, she might have stepped out.
The setting might be on private. I don't know, but I shared it to my friends, so I'm
Yeah,
not
I was able to share it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could share it because I'm looking at it right now.
right. I saw it too.
I don't know. It may be some kind of permissions that they have, but it's hard to figure out Facebook.
Yeah.
Because the algorithms have been very crazy lately. A lot of people
Oh
have
my
been
God, yes.
complaining about the algorithms with Facebook. It's been a really big complaint lately.
Well,
It
we'll
has
do our
been.
best with the recording. All right. And I'll try and make
Yeah.
adjustments on that.
Yeah, and maybe we can I can post it, and I'll check my page when I'm finished, and then if that's the case, I'll share it to each one of you so that you can share it with have it on your page as well.
Okay.
I also want to open up the room and to see if anyone has any questions for us. I know that Tanya can see some of the Facebook questions. I think Amber can see some of the questions. Is there any questions, ladies?
I'm looking, this is Tanya, and we have a lot of congratulations for you. Shout outs to the authors, but no questions. Amazing story, but no questions.
Okay. And I don't know if Amber can hear me or not. Amber, I wanted to know if you've seen any questions your way.
No, I just checked it. I didn't see any either.
Okay, thank you.
You're
We answered
welcome.
all the questions. We answered all
Yes,
their
you did.
Everybody answered well. Everybody gave good examples of everything.
Yes,
So they were like, we don't have any more questions. Y'all did it all. We just won't get the book.
that's right. Make sure you get the book. Make sure you support, your author friend, and purchase the book from your author friend. Go on their pages and see where you can purchase the book, how you can purchase the book, and please support them and honor them by getting a copy of their book.
And don't ask for a discount. Pay full price.
No discount.
Painful price.
Yeah, we're just being real on here because that's what we do.
That's
because
right.
it's just
Because the
about
book is going to be real. The book
yes.
is very real. So
This book
you
is
have to
very,
accept.
very good. I'm going to read one more thing, and then that is going to be it. On the back of the book, it says, no one wakes up one day and says, I want to be a caregiver. Yes, there are people employed as caregivers, but the difference is there is no emotional ties. You can have a strong feeling about a certain patient or person, but you go home to your real life. You can leave the caregiving to the next person. Being a caregiver is truly a journey of unconditional love. I never realized I had become my late husband, Benny, but I would do it all over again. I truly gave my life for his. I truly gave my life for the love of my life. This book holds the hearts, the voices, the tears, anger, depression, grief, and the cries of a caregiver. This is their story, telling how they gave their lives for another. This is their time to heal, to release their emotions, remove the band-aids, the mask, and come back to themselves. This is their time to take back their lives and live again. So I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you to all of the authors here and not here. I pray much success in the sales of your book. Make sure you monetize your book. There's many things that you can do with your book. You can do workshops, you can do book launches, and the list goes on and on. So make sure you use your book to monetize your book. And I just want to say thank you to my friend Tanya for coming and saving me, and
Yes,
because I was just getting ready to cry. I'm just
she
gonna be
really
honest.
was.
I
She
was
really was.
getting ready to cry because this has been such an emotional journey for me that that was just one more thing that just I couldn't, I was done. But I just want to say thank you to everyone. Thank you to everyone who joined us. Thank you for everyone who purchased a book. And thank you for everyone who took the time out of their evening to spend a few minutes with us to hear how we gave our lives for someone else. So with that being said, I am Valerie Stancill, your Purpose for Wellness Navigator and author of the Chronicle, My Life for Yours, Chronicles of a Caregiver's Unconditional Love. So I thank you so much. Peace. Bye.
Okay. All right. That